My name is Fred Litwin. I'm the president of the Free Thinking Film Society. A lot of you know me, and I want to welcome you to tonight's book launch with Tom Flanagan. Before I get into the event tonight, a few things. How many people here were at our event last month when we showed Honor Diaries? So last month we showed a film about women in the Muslim world, Honor Diaries, and it was a pretty amazing film, and we had a couple of the women in the film here to talk about their experiences, and Mrs. Harper was also here. I don't know if you remember, but after the film, when we were having our little panel discussion, there were like 3 women who ran up to the front of the stage and started yelling at me. I don't know if you remember. So here I am up here, and they're yelling at me. And of course, I can't really pay much attention to them because I've got a panel discussion. But what they were upset about was 2 people in their questions to the panel criticized Justin Trudeau. Now, you may remember, a couple of years ago when Jason Kenney's Citizen Guide came out, he called female genital mutilation barbaric, and Justin Trudeau objected to that description. And so 2 people asked questions, and they were critical of Justin Trudeau, and 3 women walked up here. They're yelling at me because it was a partisan event, and then they wanted their money back. And then one of them wrote a letter to the editor, which was published in the Citizen, about how the film was good, but unfortunately it was a partisan event. Well, we're really not partisan here. I don't really care if people criticize Stephen Harper in their questions or criticize Justin Trudeau. Well, I like it when you criticize Justin. As a moderator here, when I moderate these things, the only thing I care about is don't make speeches. That's when I'll cut people off. I won't cut people off if you are critical of a politician of any political party. And I was quite taken aback when they thought that I really should stop somebody from asking a question or commenting on a politician. Tonight's topic, and Tom's going to get into it, but I went to another event last month. You remember the brouhaha at University of Ottawa over the supposed rape culture, and the fact that the hockey team was suspended, and there was a big sort of panic over what was going on at University of Ottawa. Well, one of my friends, Janice Fiamengo, is a professor of English at the university, and she decided she would give a lecture on a Friday night to discuss the myth of rape culture on campus. And I went to this lecture, and I was sitting there in this classroom at the University of Ottawa, and there were a lot of people coming into the class. And I knew something was going to happen. And as soon as she started, these people in the back of the room had horns. So the horns were going off, and people were pounding the desk and yelling and screaming. And they started to sing the Internationale. Oh, I love that song.
Great song.
Yeah, so they're singing the Internationale, and of course Janice can't give her lecture. And what really upset me was that the security in University of Ottawa, they won't do anything. They will. You could do whatever you want. They will not make you leave the classroom. It's sort of a hands-off. So what they'll do is they'll cancel things, but they won't actually remove people who are offensive and who are stopping proceedings. And so then it was decided that we would move that lecture to a smaller classroom and try to weed out the people who would make trouble and not. So we moved to a smaller classroom, and Janice actually started her lecture, and about 20 minutes into it, it started again with people disrupting and yelling and screaming, and then they pulled the fire alarm. And once you pull the fire alarm, well, that's it. So you have to vacate the premises, and the whole thing was over. And so it was really it was a really horrible evening, and what a shame for the University of Ottawa. And since that time, there's been no communication from the university to Janice Fiamengo about what happened at her lecture. There's been no attempt to reschedule her lecture. Absolutely nothing. And it's just appalling that this is what can go on at a university. And so I just wanted to let you know what happened there. A couple of small little details. We're selling, as you know, Tom's book out front, but my friend Lynn Cohen, is Lynn here? She's outside. Well, my friend Lynn Cohen has written a book about her political journey from the left to the right, and you know, I love Lynn, and I decided that we would also sell her book. So if you're looking for another book to buy on a political journey, Lynn's book is for sale as well. There's a couple of people in the audience I should say hello to. My good friend Joseph Benamy is here from the Meehan Institute. Joseph, you want to stand up? The Meehan Institute is a think tank in Ottawa, a conservative think tank, and so thank you very much, Joseph, for coming. My friend Harry Weldon. Harry Weldon manages another think tank in town called POG, Peace, Order, and Good Government. It's a small think tank, and he organizes monthly events where they bring in speakers, and if you want to join his think tank and come to his events, you can speak to him afterwards. And my friend Chris Champion is here. Chris, where's Chris? Chris is the founder and editor of the Dorchester Review, which is a very important historical publication that publishes articles on a variety of topics on Canadian history and politics. And what's amazing about Chris is that in the middle of the storm regarding Tom, he actually hired Tom to write an article for the Dorchester Review. So thank you, Chris, for coming out. Okay, so let's get back to tonight. And I just want to introduce Tom. Tom Flanagan was educated at Notre Dame and Duke University. He's taught political science at the University of Calgary since 1968. He's won a numerous amount of prizes, the Donner Prize, and amongst others for his books. You might notice he's written some great books on Aboriginal rights. He's written on political parties and campaigning. He's managed campaigns. He's advised leaders of political parties on a provincial basis and a federal basis, and largely we owe a great gratitude to the rise of conservatism in this country. So please welcome Tom Flanagan.